My name is Anthony Sebal, and this is Smart 24, and the show is Financial Markets. Now, of course, we've got a chance to speak to the country representative of Sanlam in Uganda. That is Mr. Mubale Mugalia, a man of many talents, as already mentioned in the annual general meeting. Now, Mr. Mubale, how are you doing, sir?
Thank you, Anthony. It's good to be back on TV. Doing extremely well. Thank you.
Good. Now, Mr. Mubale, what happened today exactly concerning the Sanlam annual general meeting? What exactly took place?
Anthony, today was a big day for us. We basically are accountable to our investors, and after the end of the financial year 2021, we had to come back to them and report to them on the health and the reports for the unit trust that we manage and the funds that are invested under that unit trust on their behalf.
For a layman who is hearing the unit trust for the very first time, what is a unit trust fund?
So a unit trust fund, in my opinion, it's an opportunity for individuals, for SACCOs, for investment clubs, as well as corporates to come together under one umbrella or so that when they do collect money under that unit trust, it can be invested as a lump sum, as a single fund. In that way, they are able to access a return on investment that would have not been accessible to them. So, for example, Anthony, you can invest as low as 100,000, and your 100,000 in the unit trust can accord you a return on investment together with the other investors who have invested beyond $1 billion. So you would enjoy a return on investment on your 100,000 that is akin to a return that you would have obtained if you are investing $1 billion shillings. So unit trusts are definitely institutions that are licensed and regulated by the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda. And today is one part of that, another level of accountability. So whereas we are accountable to the regulators, at the end of the year we do prepare reports and also present them to the unit holders.
What kind of investors do you have at Sanlam? Who can invest in the unit trust fund? Because definitely many kinds of people have ideas on investment. People have investment clubs. Some people want to invest as individuals. What are the major kinds of investors that you have at Sanlam?
Absolutely. That's a very good question, Anthony. The way I would look at it is that each one of us, be it an individual, be it an institution or SACCO or investment club, should open an investment account. The reasoning is, at one point or the other, we tend to have some funds that are idle, that are not generating any income, and yet they could actually be invested in the unit trust and earn a reasonable return on investment. And also, because the unit trust accords you access to your capital or investment balance anytime you want to call on it, then it is really giving a run for idle funds, be it you have idle funds as an individual or idle funds as a company or a SACCO or an investment club. A quick example, we do have SACCOs that have invested with us, and for them it is a concept of treasury management, that on a monthly basis when they do collect money from their members, before they lend it out, they do not leave it lying idle on the bank account. They can have it in the unit trust to earn a reasonable return and call on it anytime they do want to lend it to members or use it for other projects. Right now we have our rate of return, our effective annual rate of return, if I were to call it, to give it a bit more technical term, standing at around 11.3, 11.4%, which we believe is very competitive for any investment that you can access on very short notice. Yes.
Well, finally, Mr. Mugalia, before I let you go, of course, where do you see Sanlam in the next 5 years, and what do you see? Are there any new opportunities? Are people going to see growth, and what should people expect and look up to in Sanlam?
Absolutely. I think we are really excited about business in general. It doesn't mean that it is simple, but we're really excited about business in general. So a statistic came out about a month ago that the total amount of money invested under unit trusts had exceeded 1 trillion. This in Uganda. This is money for Ugandan investors who total about 32,000. Now, we believe that if 32,000 investors in unit trusts across the market can raise 1 trillion, what would it look like if we had 100,000 or 200,000 investors in unit trusts? So we believe that we are offering value to Ugandans, and we believe that as we partner with them and grow their wealth on our side as Sanlam, we will be fulfilling our mandate to generate value for our investors. So that is how I would describe it. Thank you
very much, Mr. Mubale Mugalia there, country representative of Sanlam in Uganda. Of course, later on probably we will be having you and breaking down a little more what has been presented, but we are indeed glad to have you, and of course we are looking forward to a very good year of business ahead. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Anthony, and thank you, the dear viewers. Thank you.
Wow, well, that was Mr. Mubale Mugalia, who is the country representative of Sanlam, which is, of course, a company that is based in South Africa, but with subsidiaries all over Africa, from over 34 countries in Africa. And here in Uganda, it stands as Sanlam Investment East Africa Limited, with presence in Kenya and Uganda as well. You've heard from the man himself, who is the country representative, claiming that the collective investment schemes have grown, and therefore there is no way to go but up in terms of growth of assets under management for Sanlam Investments Uganda Limited as well. And so we are looking forward to the financial year 2022, how it will play out in terms of assets under management, in terms of investor growth, because the more the assets grow, the more money they manage, the more returns they get, and of course the better and happier the interest rates on their returns. Remember, the return they declared this year is 11.5%. I think one of the highest returns on the market. Many other fund managers are lingering between 10%, 11%. But if they have marked about 11.4%, that is a record interest rate on a collective investment scheme or unit trust fund. Of course, we will be getting to know more of what happens there from Serena Hotel Kampala later on other programs as well. But for now, let's continue with financial markets. Now, today, besides Sanlam Investment Company Limited, of course, we have equity markets that have been playing out on the market for the last 24 hours. Excuse me. Of course, with me now is the figures from the markets as they stand this very morning, with, of course, some top gainers and bottom losers. The gainers for the last 24 hours have been Stanbic Bank Uganda Limited, KCB, that is Kenya Commercial Bank, the Jubilee Holdings Limited, Kenya Airways, and Centum Investment. Those are 5 gainers on the market for the last 24 hours. The bottom losers include MTN, which was the bottom most loser, followed by Equity Bank Limited, followed by Development Finance Company of Uganda, down to Nation Media Group, and then down to East African Breweries Limited. Those were some of the top and bottom people on the market. But currently the stock price for British American Tobacco is 15,000 Ugandan shillings. The stock price of Bank of Baroda Uganda is 85, and the stock price of Centum Investments is 303.86, which is one of the gainers at 0.93 increment, 0.93 shillings increment in share price there for Centum Investment. And then Cipla Quality Chemicals is currently trading at 70 with a trade volume for the past 24 hours since yesterday. 600 shares were traded in Cipla Quality Chemicals. DFCU Bank is another company that had some volume being traded, and it had a trade of about 1,100 shares, and these shares, of course, came out with a loss of about 5 cents therefore DFCU Bank. Then down to East African Breweries Limited. East African Breweries currently trades at 4,198.03 with a loss of 34.04 Ugandan shillings there. East African Breweries Limited. Then there's not been any trade volumes for East African breweries. Equity Bank Limited currently trades at 1,348.17. One of the losers as well. I think the second biggest loser after East African Breweries. East African Breweries has been losing since actually Monday, and currently it's trading at 4,198. But Equity Bank Limited as well is one of the losers, currently trading at 1,348.17, meaning you have a decline of 24.86 from yesterday's market. That is Equity Bank Limited. Then Jubilee Holdings Limited, of course, these are all cross-listed from Kenya, East African Breweries, Equity Bank, and Jubilee Holdings. Jubilee Holdings was the biggest gainer at 8,476, has seen a growth of 43.73 Ugandan shillings gain in share price. Kenya Airways was among the gainers, and I think one of the gainers for the week, and it's currently trading at 122.5 Ugandan shillings with an increase of 0.63. KCB Bank, KCB Group is currently trading at 1,247.42 with an increase in price of about 6.44 Ugandan shillings. MTN Uganda currently is one of actually the biggest loser. No, not the biggest really, but lost in share price in the past 24 hours, and currently trades at 185.68, and that probably was due to a transaction of about 5,984 shares that were traded on the market yesterday. And of course, the decline in price is about 4.06. That is MTN Uganda Limited. Down to National Insurance Corporation, the company with the lowest share price, currently trades at 6.2 Ugandan shillings, and that is the lowest price on the market. Down to Nation Media Group, NMG. NMG currently trades at 673.28, and currently that is a loss of about 6.08. That is on National Media Group. Then New Vision Publishing Printing Company is currently trading at 155, a price that has not changed. Stanbic Bank. Stanbic is trading at 23, one of the gainers in the market for the last 24 hours, with the last volume traded of 31,900 shares on the market. Down to Uganda Clays. Uganda Clays is currently at 19 Ugandan shillings, and the last volume traded is 12,300 with no price change for the past 24 hours. And finally, down to Umeme Limited. Umeme Limited currently trades at 240, and the last volume traded was 28,200 shares. That is the current standing of the market. Now, the USE trading summary for Wednesday, 15th of June, that is closing 2022 yesterday. At the end of the day's trading session on the Uganda Securities Exchange, a total of about 80,284 shares was done, corresponding to a market value of 9.6 million that was traded. The current market capitalization for the Uganda Security Exchange lies at 20.9 trillion. That is the market capitalization at the Uganda Security Exchange. In aggregate, 6 USE listed equities participated in trading yesterday, ending with 5 gainers and 5 losers. Stanbic Bank Uganda leading the gainers with an increment of 4.55% in share price, appreciating close to about a 23 Ugandan shillings mark by this morning. It was followed by Kenya Commercial Bank, that is KCB Group, which is currently one of the gainers at 0.52% appreciation in share price. It was, of course, followed by Jubilee Holdings as well, with 0.52% increment as well. Down to Kenya Airways, which is the last gainer on the market, with about 0.52% increment as well. On the losing side, MTN Uganda came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 2.14%. That is at about 185.68 Ugandan shillings per share. MTN was followed in the losers match by Equity Bank Limited at about 1.81% decrement in share price. Then DFCU Bank came next at 0.9% decline, and Nation Media Group came down last as you know, with a decrease of about 0.89%. Stanbic Bank Uganda recorded the highest volume of about 31,900 traded shares, and it was followed by Umeme with about 28,200 shares traded, and Uganda Clays Limited at 12,300 shares that were traded, and MTN Uganda with about 5,984 shares traded on the market over the last 24 hours. Regarding the performance of the Uganda Security Exchange market indices, the benchmark Uganda Security Exchange All-Share Index dropped 7.99 points. That's about 0.65% drop in points, to close at 1,217.93 points, corresponding to a 1-week loss of 3.65 and a 4-week gain of 0.25%, but an overall year-to-date loss of 14.27%. The Uganda Security Exchange Local Company Index also decreased by 0.58% to 281.01 points, and that making it a 1-week loss of 0.67% and a 4-week loss of 1.19% and a year-to-date loss of 13.44%. This is real-time data from the Uganda Securities Exchange, of course, with regarding the share prices right there that, of course, are playing out on the market. Remember, the Uganda stock market has 2 indices: the benchmark indice, which is the benchmark index, which is the all share index of Uganda Security Exchange, but also the Uganda Security Exchange local company index. And that's how we analyze them. The local company index is for only the companies that are locally listed. Those are the 10 companies. That is, Cipla, MTN, and the like. Yet the all share index accounts for all the 18 listed securities on the market. Now let's move a little bit into the Nairobi Stock Exchange as we look at what happened on their market over Tuesday. The Kenyan market had about 13 top gainers and 18 bottom losers. Let's just have a look at some of the gainers and losers on the market there as they folded out. Now, at the end of yesterday's trading session at the Nairobi Stock Exchange, there was a total of 20,117,800 shares in 1,252 deals, corresponding to a market value of about 508 million Kenyan shillings that were traded, compared with the corresponding market value of about, compared to the previous day, that was Tuesday, which shows that today's data has 66% improvement in volume and 122% improvement in turnover and 12% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization of the Nairobi Stock Exchange is 1.96 Kenyan shillings right there. And in aggregate, the 47 Nairobi Stock Exchange listed equities participated in trading, ending with 13 gainers and 20 losers. The Scan Group led the gainers at 5.79% share price appreciation, losing at 3.29 per share. And it was followed by Kapchorwa Tea Company at 4.71%, and then the Nairobi Business Ventures gaining at 4.4%. That is the NBV. That is one of the gainers there. And then East African Cables gained by 4.17%. On the losing side, we had, of course, Express Kenya, which came out with an end-of-day price depreciation of 7.98%, and followed by Car and General Kenya, which came out at 7.13% loss. Then Britam Holdings came out at 6.38% loss, and then Safaricom, of course, HF Group actually came out at 5.1%. But Safaricom recorded the highest trading volume at 18.5 million traded shares, followed by KCB Group, which had about 292,300 shares traded. I&M Holdings also traded about 190,900 shares on the market. Equity Group Holdings as well traded at about 184,700 shares there. That was the update on the stock market. Remember, you can follow me on social media platforms at Twitter, that is Anthony Sebs. You can also follow Smart24 on our handle at Smart24TV, or catch the show live every day on our YouTube live stream at Smart24TV. Or if you have a GoTV decoder, you can catch us on channel 394. My name is Anthony Sebale. Coming up next later on in the day is UG Tukole with Mr. Fred Makubuya. Otherwise, from me and the team, it's a good day for you. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.